And welcome, everyone. Away we go.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
This is Radio. Back again for number 10. Join Big B, DK, and Mike Jolitz for all the hot topics, weird news, and shenanigans. It's Cave Crew Radio, Season 10 at cavecrewradio.com.
Yes, DK with you with Big B.
Hi there.
I got a few things actually tonight for the pre-show.
Ooh.
Number one, reporting again that Isbia is at her friend's house doing crafts.
Well, then, she's become quite the crafter.
Quite a crafty person, and I don't want shit gifts for Christmas. I told her that. I don't want like fucking handmade fucking fedoras or something. But I will report, to answer your question, you asked if she was watching it. She did turn it on, but there were several other women there, and she didn't want to offend them.
Is she saying that we're offensive?
Well, we are a little bit rated R.
I am offended now. I'm offended at the potential offense.
But I said they might like us. You never know.
You never know.
And actually, last week we had some really good, in-depth discussions about like the past, and I thought it was a really. Hence, we didn't get to the Florida stuff that we'll get to tonight. But I thought before we got into the news, we had some fun stuff.
Maybe she's worried, like when I go off on my rants, I curse and yell a lot. And
then and I also worry that she may have to introduce me at some point, and I'm supposed to be an outstanding citizen and a former coach and a guy running a business, and here I am talking about eye syphilis and things that people might not normally, but. You know what? I'd want to know about that stuff if it wasn't for us.
Who would know about that stuff if it wasn't for us?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the phone to ring one day to you or I and say, like, you guys gotta come on Cyrus XM or Big B. We need you in the studio here at CBS New York, and we'll remote DK in, and we really need to hear about this. Now, you might have to shave your language off a little bit, but Sirius, you're okay. Sirius XM, you can do what you want. But...
Right. Local radio, you cannot.
Right.
You are
Next up on my list. Next up on my list, I turn on the news as I'm waiting to come down to the studio. And I again see massive flooding heading towards New York City. What is your report?
Yeah, so that's what I'm hearing too, and it's supposed to start Sunday. So right now it's just cold. It's cold, and the wind is supposed to start picking up. But Sunday, apparently, we're under a flood watch or a flood warning. And it's supposed to be really nasty starting at some point Sunday afternoon on into Monday morning.
I saw that and I'm like, fucking New York, holy shit.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I will report once it gets underway. I will report.
Because what I'm hearing again this year, I don't think you'll need the blowtorch very often, is an El Nino winter, which means precipitation will either be rain or freezing rain, which is also not pleasant.
No, freezing rain is... I'd rather have snow than freezing rain, because all freezing rain does is exactly what it says. It freezes everything, so you just get a layer of ice on everything.
And when it's dark, you're fucked.
You can't see it. Yeah.
So, yeah, prayers for New York, ladies and gentlemen. Prayers for New York.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're good. We're good for now.
I don't really have a whole lot else for the pre-show. Although carrying on with the weather,
Mm-hmm.
I was out doing a few errands for work. We got to deliver these charity checks and shit. There was like 5 accidents. Like, are drivers getting worse, or is it me?
Well, I told you I watched the TV show called Heavy Rescue 401 and Highway Through Hell, which is all in the Canadian highway system. And like, you guys are used to snowy weather. That's just what happens in Canada, right?
Yeah.
But I watch these shows and everybody is crashing.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I would
It's like,
figure that, you guys would reduce your speed and really would almost be professional snow drivers, right? Because every winter you guys are getting snow and it's just a normal thing. Just like if you live in Buffalo or Montana or something somewhere north and cold. But I watch these shows and everybody's crashing everywhere. And these fucking 18-wheelers aren't putting chains on their tires, sliding and jackknifing. What goes on in Canada?
it's not so snowy here, though. We might get like 1 or 2 significant snowfalls in Windsor. It's really balmy for Canada. But you're right, like Buffalo, Toronto, Sarnia, Blue Water Bridge, Niagara Falls. Yeah, they get pummeled.
Yeah, and I get that accidents happen, but I would figure it would be less for you guys because you should be so used to it.
Yeah, I'm really not anymore. Oh, we got Big John. He's a DJ on Sheppey FM in the Isle of Sheppey in England.
The Isle of Sheppey.
Yeah, great to see you, Big John.
Very nice.
Great DJ himself. He spins the tunes every Friday.
Very nice.
On Friday Night Live.
I used to spin the tunes.
You did. Maybe you'll get back to that someday.
Maybe one day.
One day. Who knows?
I think I let my ASCAP license expire too.
Oh, you didn't. You told me. One thing about you is you never let anything expire.
But
that puts you into major debt.
My I'm not in major debt at all.
No, I'm not saying that, but I mean, you like everything, you like web pages and licenses and this and that and the other thing. You always keep it like renewed.
Yeah, but I think my ASCAP license, because that's probably my most. It's like $500 a year, but you have to pay it all at once. Like it's not a monthly installment thing. And I think the last time it came due, which was probably at the beginning of this year or at the end of last year, I don't think I paid it because it was whatever was happening. I don't think I could afford it. And I think I just let it lapse.
Well, and not just that, you had this license for all these years.
Mm.
And we kept getting like fucking mocked on YouTube and Instagram and wherever else we are.
Well, just because I have the license doesn't mean that they know about it. We would have to fight that, and I'd have to show them my license.
I mean, I don't have enough time to even do this show sometimes.
Right. But yeah, so maybe one day I'll get back to spinning them tunes.
Maybe I can. The problem is, I did a music show once, and I was criticized that I talk too much. Like, people hear a music show like DK, they don't want to hear you babble for 10 minutes in between. So I just, fuck this. That's what I do. I talk.
And it's kind of what we did too. We created a nice hangout where, you talk and listen to tunes.
I used to love your show. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, kids, talking FLA, we never got to it last week. We're going to have a lot of stories from Florida. We got Mike Reads the News. We got the Epicenter, Drink of the Week, all that good stuff. We're getting closer every day to when the big man comes to town. But for now, I'm going to click on the radio button and put us live. And once I do that, we are going to rock this place out.
The show is about to start. Roger, we have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of big men.
I mean, we got to solve which I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Today's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Craven, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power goal. This is Cave Crew Radio.
Real quick before I go into the regular stuff. Big John, we'd love to do some kind of collaboration. We love collaborating with other people that love to do what we do. And by saying you're fucked, I hope that means you're getting lucky. Anyway, Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. We are live on CaveCrewRadio.com. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, on Pulse Talk Radio, syndicated around the world, and available wherever podcasts can be found. I have a feeling the drink of the week is going to be coming really soon. No? Okay. Just distracted for a minute. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got a good show. At least I think so. I hope you think so as well. Talking FLA, a whole bunch to catch up on. Mike Jolitz reads the news. And yeah, whatever else comes up here in the cave. Sorry. But until then.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urain Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness, Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am King B. And before we get to the epicenter, we had a special delivery come to us.
You know what? Like, we're getting derailed
immediately.
Like, we got to redo the agenda.
Well, it's never there's never a specific time. It just wanders down here whenever it does. So before we get to the epicenters, we have.
Oh, wait a minute! I'm sorry.
That's what I was waiting for.
I was too busy working on your. You know me. I'm a creature of fucking habit.
Mrs. B presents the drink of the week.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The drink of the week has come a little bit early this week.
Oh,
and
my Lord.
This week we have a coquito.
A coquito.
What is a coquito? Yeah, it's basically like Puerto Rican eggnog.
Oh, excuse me. Just in case I need something.
Right, yeah. We buy pre-made, so this is an already made drink, but it's basically like rum and coconut cream and a couple other things in there. So yeah, it's like Puerto Rican eggnog, and it is very good. And
At what point of the story of the Magi did the Puerto Ricans come into this that they would discover eggnog?
I have no idea. But I'm glad they did because this is quite good. So this is obviously garnished. Mrs. B loves the garnish. So this week is garnished with a slice of pineapple and a little umbrella.
Beautiful umbrella.
I don't like pineapple, so I will be giving this to her to eat.
You quite often exchange the garnish.
Yeah, because I'm not a garnish person, but because she does the drink, and it is part of like the aesthetics of the
presentation. It's all about the presentation. Right. And I'm curious. Mrs. B should get, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. Mrs. B should get a Pinterest and put all her drinks on there. Just another social media channel.
Oh.
That we could.
A suggestion has been floated that you should get a Pinterest and put your drinks on there with your garnishes before you bring them down, because you make them look like, very nice and very elegant, and you could put them on Pinterest.
And you can put a description and a recipe and
all of that. Yeah,
this might be the chance to go viral.
That might be a good thing, and you could go viral. Look at that.
A social influencer, Mrs.
Right.
B.
So wait, before Mrs. B leaves, I have a question for you, DK. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you saw the garnish was with pineapple.
Yes. No, I don't put it on pizza.
That was my question.
I knew it. Everyone asks that stupid fuck. Anyone that puts pineapple on pizza might as well get a Snickers bar or a banana split.
She puts pineapple on pizza and loves it. Pineapple does not belong on pizza, and he agrees. Pineapple does not belong on pizza.
Let us know, everyone. I like.
Sweet, it's salty. Oh,
she's saying it's wonderful on pizza. It's got the sweetness and the saltiness, and it adds to the flavor with the cheese and the sauce.
No saltiness in a pineapple.
I don't like pineapple to begin with, so.
I don't even like it on ham.
She's asking, do you like pineapple?
I've had some drinks with pineapple juice.
But pineapple itself.
I'm not opposed to the taste of pineapple, but like anything else, it has its place.
He says he's not opposed to the taste of pineapple, but anything else, it has its place. He doesn't even like it on ham when you put pineapple on ham. Yeah. So
apparently in England, they deep fry Snickers in batter.
So we have somebody from England watching, and he says they deep fry Snickers in batter over there. Yeah. Deep fried Snickers.
Maybe Big B will smoke Snickers.
I don't think I'm going to smoke a Snickers bar.
I never know.
I just can't picture, chocolate melts. So
I think it would work better with like a Twix or
but chocolate melts. I put it in my smoker at, even at like a 225. The chocolate's going to melt everywhere. It's going to be, it's not worth it.
But then maybe Big B will or Mrs. B will put it on her pizza.
Well, the John from England says they do the same with the slices of pineapples. They deep fry pineapple slices. Now she's excited. Now she's so here's what's going to happen. Now that John decided to say that with my wife here, we're going to go buy a pineapple, and I'm going to have to deep fry some pineapple slices.
Oh God! Please bring a sample on there.
I would rather not.
What would you use? Would you use like a tempura or just an egg flour?
Probably just the egg and flour, like a seasoned flour with the egg, and put it in a fryer.
Well, you have to find out, is it a sweet deep fry or a savory deep fry?
Oh, well, she's getting all complicated with, is it a sweet or savory deep fry and all of this. So yeah.
It's pineapple.
I,
It's sweet. There's no savory
yeah.
in the pineapple.
Yeah, I hear them up there running around.
And
So yeah.
enough pineapple talk, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know apparently in the United States, and this may be under the talking FLA, I was told once that if you turn a pineapple upside down in your shopping cart, it meant you were a swinger.
Pineapples are a symbol for a swinger. Yes.
Oh,
I don't know about it being upside down. I have no idea. But
imagine those up your ass.
When I know, like when my wife was looking at tattoos, so she wanted to get tattoos for our kids, and like for my younger son, when she was pregnant, all she craved was pineapple. So she was thinking about maybe incorporating a pineapple in the tattoo, but then doing the research, she said, no, I can't do that because that would mean I'm a swinger, which we're not. So she said, no, I got to scrap that idea.
Not swinged or swang, whatever the term is. I have not swang.
I swung.
Swung. I have not, whatever the term is.
John says it's best if you make a seasoned flour, but I personally like to add Guinness instead of water to the batter. But not too much. Well, that's why I said egg wash with seasoned flour. I never heard of Guinness. I personally don't like Guinness, but that's more of Irish English thing.
I watch cooking shows and I listen to you sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't waste a good beer or a bottle of wine or whiskey in your cooking. That's for drinking.
Oh, no.
I can come back on camera now. Sorry for
I know 100%. You make a nice Jack and Coke marinade for some pork or something like that. You put some whiskey in there, that it comes out really good. I wouldn't do. I don't like. I'm not a fan of Guinness, so I wouldn't do Guinness. But you could do beer battered stuff. You do it in beer, do it in whiskey. You braise some beef in red wine. For sure, you could definitely use alcohol in that.
It's not that I dislike Guinness, but I have one swig and I'm full. Like, so what's the point?
Yeah, people have when you come over for gatherings or whatever, and people bring their own beers. I've had people bring over Guinness, and I was like, I'll have one, and I just didn't like the taste. It wasn't even that I would get full. I just didn't like the taste of it.
Oh, see, with me, it's thick as molasses. It's
it's very thick. But I will take my my Netherlands Pilsner, beer. My German beer. Yeah,
I noticed you're over to the beer already. What happened to the Puerto Rican eggnog?
It's almost done, but it's a very small glass, and there's nothing else.
Oh. You drink whiskey straight or not at all? Single A, no ice. Ice waters it down.
I agree as far as drinking goes, but you can use it to make stuff. You can use it to make a sauce or a marinade. Whiskey is good for that.
All right. Do we have an epicenter?
Well, my epicenter was going to be that the epicenter of all things Christmas crafting going on, because my wife last weekend the tree went up, the decorations have gone up. Now it's time to craft for the kids, the school Christmas party. She's making baskets for the school, the Christmas pageant that's going to happen. When all the grades come one by one and sing a Christmas song.
Oh, nice! You're excited for that.
Oh boy, I can't wait to listen to 8 or 9 grades, because you have kindergarten through 8, 9 grades of Christmas songs. Boy, it'll be fun.
What is your favorite Christmas song?
Good night, John. Stay tipsy. I plan on it.
This is also the third time you said goodnight.
Right.
So
He's just going to hang out. He's going to say goodnight.
Yet. Just fall asleep to us. We need the views.
There you go. I don't know if I have a favorite Christmas song. I liked when I was a kid, we would put on the Christmas music to decorate the tree, and I liked Little Drummer Boy.
Okay, I'm with you.
I like that one. What is it? Rock around the
Christmas tree.
Yeah,
Rock around the Christmas tree.
Yeah. That one's pretty cool. And I think when I was a kid, I liked Joy to the World. Joy to the World was always
Joy to the World's a fun song. Yeah. It's a happy tune. Now, my favorite Christmas song now, I like Feliz Navidad. That's just a fun trying to speak Spanish. That's really cool. But it's I can't remember the name of the band. It's of King and something. And they do Drummer Boy. And there's like 15 drummers on the stage. And I'll get the name for you and I'll send you the video. And we will you'll like it. It's like a hardcore, not heavy metal, but it's like just drums going crazy. And
John
says, right. You like you getting wrapped up. That's what we're hoping for.
I also like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra does and I forget the song that they do, but they do it really well and it kicks ass. And I like that one. I don't remember the name of it.
I'd like to see them someday. So like all these weird rock concerts coming, by the way. Journey, Steve Miller, and Def Leppard. Like, how are these guys alive? Then you got what was it? Foreigner and who's with Foreigner and Styx. Like,
well, I will tell you. Last summer, I saw Def Leppard with Poison and Motley Crue, and Def Leppard kicked ass.
Yeah,
they were really good. Motley Crue sucked. Poison was pretty good too. But just this past weekend, this past Saturday night, supposedly was Kiss's final show.
Yes, I was going to bring that up next.
I got the pay-per-view. I watched it, and it was as awful or as good as you think it would be.
Yeah,
for 74-year-old men dressed in makeup and trying to do things that they did when they were 20.
They don't fall in high heels, though. Give them credit.
Well, at this advanced age, they also don't move in high heels.
Well, I saw Paul Stanley kind of doing his little...
Yeah, for the upper body, he was doing this. Otherwise, he stood there, and he doesn't sound good.
No.
Gene sounds good. Paul, not so much. And they were, okay. Yeah.
Now, I was hoping you were going to bring up the hologram. They will live forever now.
Fucking terrible. So I'm watching the pay-per-view, and they end with Rock and Roll All Night, which is their ending song forever. And you figure, that's when the lights come up and they do the bow and all of this, but they did that 2 songs before. They did all of that and gave through the sticks and said thank you and all that. Then they did Do You Love Me and Rock and Roll All Night. After Rock and Roll All Night, the music comes on for God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Okay. And they show this video of the Kiss avatars doing God Gave Rock and Roll to You. They did the entire song. So I'm watching a stupid video of God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And that was it. They never came back on stage. So it was like the worst, most awkward ending to a show ever. And now apparently this is how Kiss is going to live on. They're going to be avatars. which is fucking terrible.
So to buy their music, well, we have to buy in that, what do you call, Linden?
In the second light, whatever the fuck thing that
Yeah.
Bitcoin, maybe. I have no idea. I am not going to buy it. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to go see it. If it's you have to go somewhere. I ordered the pay-per-view because it was supposedly the very last show of Kiss, and I wanted to see it. I wanted to, this was kind of sort of rock and roll history. I wanted to see it, see how good or bad as it was. It was in the middle. It wasn't good, wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was all right. But I am not going to entertain Kiss avatars. It's just not happening.
Things we're going to see before we pass.
John says it's the same thing ABBA did with their Voyage tour, CGI avatars. Apparently this is the wave of the future, and it's fucking awful. If you want to come back and bring Prince back, bring Jim Morrison back with the Doors, things like that, that would be cool for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah.
But Kiss is still alive. They just choose to, we're too old to tour, but we still want to bilk you for as much money as we possibly can.
And people will bite.
People will
and
bite.
They might become popular in an entire new generation. The thing about ABBA, though, is they built an entire theater just for the ABBA shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not seen or read about it, but I heard.
Right.
So that may be like, maybe that's if you're an ABBA fan, if you
I'm reading his previous post that there's a UK artist called Youngblood, who Ozzy said reminded him of him. And as much as Youngblood is awesome and massively relevant, there truly is only one Ozzy. He is 100% correct.
Yeah, you can't replicate.
You cannot replicate. I'm glad I saw Black Sabbath on the tour The End, which was, God knows how many years ago now. I'm glad I saw him then, and I saw Ozzy solo. So now that he can't do it anymore, I'm glad I got a chance to see both Black Sabbath and him solo.
Yeah, I mean, you can cover a song.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of great covers out there.
Sure,
various genres, but yeah, you can't try to replace an artist.
No. See, he says it's a ripoff. To be honest, I mean, Meatloaf was still touring right up until his death, and that man fainted on stage and still went back out to finish the show. Yeah, I mean, Meatloaf was unto himself. There's nobody like Meatloaf out there before then or after. He will always be Meatloaf.
Yeah. And there's that annoying song whenever it comes on, if we're driving on the highway, and I really just want to drive into a ditch.
Are you talking about Paradise by the Dashboard Light?
Yeah, my wife's like, if you love me, or whatever the fuck it is. And she, look, I got a terrible voice, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a singer. That's why I'm doing radio. But she sings that song, and I dig my fingernails into the dashboard. Like, it's just, I like Meatloaf, but I now hate that song.
I remember we analyzed that song in one of my classes in high school. We did two songs. We did Suicide Solution and Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, this is bad. Like Suicide Solution was typically, you're going to kill yourself. And it wasn't anything like that. We were just discussing it and, the impact it had on, popular culture at the time and, the killings and all, the suicides and all that stuff. And it was a nice discussion. And then we talked about Paradise by the Dashboard Light. We're in high school, that was a whole sexual thing. And it was really cool to I listened to this stuff normally, and then to go to high school and be like, I'm listening to it in class. This kicks ass.
Yeah. Better than algebra.
For sure. It was awesome. But yeah, I'm sorry. The Kiss avatars was awful. And I'm sure it's going to earn them a lot of money because, like you said, these diehard Kiss fans will buy anything and everything Kiss, and they will eat up these avatars. Because I'm sure there's going to be action figures, there's going to be a TV show, there's going to be touring virtual, shows where you still have to go to Madison Square Garden to watch TV. So and people are going to go.
Well, eventually, I think they'll be able to like transport people, not people, but avatars onto the stage where they actually look, like a virtual reality. I bet you they even have music written for these avatars. I bet you they're going to release their own album.
I'm sure. But that's the Gene and Paul, and it was Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer. They can just sit back in the studio and record. They don't have to go on tour and do all the makeup and dress up and all this shit.
So they didn't have Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. Nope. I thought I saw them.
Nope. It was Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer. Eric Singer's longtime drummer for Kiss,
but dressed up as Ace Frehley and Peter Criss.
Yeah. See, that's always the funny thing about Tommy Thayer. Like when Ace split, they had Vinnie Vincent come in, and Vinnie Vincent had his own character.
Yeah.
But then when Tommy Thayer came in, they were like, "No, you can't have your own character. You have to be Ace." So everybody else could be individual, but Tommy Thayer had to be Ace.
Now, see, that's something. Yeah, well, you learn something all the time. That's the reason we do the show. I thought that was, well, I thought Peter Criss looked a little weird, to be honest with you. He looked like a fucking dwarf.
Yeah.
But did not look like Peter Criss at all. But I'm figuring he's getting older. He's shrinking. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was Ace Frehley reuniting.
No, Tommy Thayer.
Now, is Ace Frehley still alive?
Oh, yeah, they're all still alive. They were just not asked to participate, which really is, because Gene and Paul are fucking douchebags. And Gene more so than Paul. I'm sure they didn't want to pay Peter and Ace for the appearances and all of this. But you figure, whether you like them or hate them, they are one of the most iconic rock bands of all time.
Yeah. I mean, we all remember them.
Right.
Well, those of us old enough to remember.
Right. And, that kind of glam shock rock thing, they kind of went hand in hand with like Alice Cooper and, back then, because Gene would have the blood and they'd have the makeup and the fire and all of this. So, they are an iconic band.
Right.
And you would
remember, like me, they took the makeup off, right? Like they took all the makeup off and they were touring. And then they came back with the makeup again.
Oh, well, Unmasked in the 80s. The 80s, that was their the big album, Unmasked. And that was with Vinnie Vincent. Vinnie Vincent was in the band at that time. But you would figure that for the
Ace Frehley has been gone since the 80s.
Who, Vinnie Vincent?
No, Ace Frehley.
They split in 79, I believe.
Oh my God, I'm so out of touch.
I mean, it could be 81, somewhere between 79 and 81. I want to say Ace and Peter split. But you would figure for their very, very last show of, forever, supposedly, they would have, even for the final song, Rock and Roll All Night, you'd bring out Ace and Peter.
Did they comment?
Nope.
No.
Nothing. Like they didn't exist.
No, I mean, have you heard anything from Ace or Peter?
Oh, yeah. Ace. I haven't heard anything from Peter. Ace. Actually, no. Peter, I think, said he was disappointed, but he's fine with his position where he is in life. So it wasn't like, devastating to him. He said he was disappointed, but it was fine. Ace has much more of a contentious relationship with them. And he was like, he's better than all of them kind of thing. And, which he is. I mean, Paul Stanley's terrible. They were doing it. Paul Stanley and Tommy Thayer were having kind of the guitar battle going back and forth. And boy, was that terrible. I mean, Tommy Thayer's a good guitar player, but he has to play down to Paul Stanley. And even playing down, you could see how much better Tommy Thayer was than Paul Stanley. So
no Ace Frehley.
no Ace Frehley, no.
No, I mean playing wise, they're not as good as Ace.
No, Ace is better, but it is what it is. They have a strained relationship, and obviously never to return again.
Now,
John is asking,
does Ace? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, John's asking, is there any current artist that we like or unknown artist that you feel is going to be a rising star, and why? I don't like a lot of current music, not because of the, get off my lawn, it's not my music. It has all become very saturated and very the same.
They don't play real instruments anymore.
Well, even if you look at them, like, I listen to metal more so than anything else. Even in the world of metal, all these bands have now, they all sound alike. They have the same growling vocal style, the same kind of line 6 guitar amp sound, blast beats and continuous double bass. They all really, really sound the same. And then you go from growling to, singing. Every single band does that. So there's no differentiation between the bands. So like it's all become very watered down
generic,
to me.
Very generic,
very watered down. And that's what happened in the 80s with the hair bands. They all early on, you talk about Motley Crue and Poison and, even Guns N' Roses was considered a hair band at the time. They all sounded different. They all had their different spin on it. And eventually it got to the point where they all sounded the same. Same thing happened with grunge.
The new wave of the 90s. It was like, but see, me personally, I enjoy heavy metal as well, the old stuff. But I'm a classic rock kind of guy.
Right.
And I find myself, like we were talking, I'll go see Def Leppard. I've seen Journey. I've seen Weezer. I like Weezer. They're not new. But I like to hear musical instruments, even if it's just a guy at an outdoor cafe, a patio, playing a guitar. It doesn't even matter what he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, I listen to some of the shit that my wife likes country, which is, it's all right, give or take. But this fucking shit out there now, this house music or whatever they call it, it's not even as good as rap. And I was never a rap fan, but I could jam to some Run DMC or some Eminem.
Mm.
Not any of this new crap. It's all like, and they're doing that. What's that weird computer program they use?
Oh, auto-tune.
Yeah.
They all use auto-tune, which is terrible. And John's right. No originality anymore. Absolutely not. It's, and like I was saying, it all becomes saturated, and with every genre of music, it happens to.
Yeah.
It all becomes saturated. It all sounds the same because the music industry is really no longer about talent. It's 100% about selling records or downloads or,
and how they look,
yeah. And sales. It's no longer about talent. Like nowadays, if you had Janis Joplin now, she would never make it.
No,
she doesn't she doesn't look the part. She doesn't sound like, a current female pop star. But she had immense talent, and talent doesn't count anymore in the music industry because you can have auto-tune. You can have backing vocals.
The last concert I saw was a Bob Seger tribute band.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was horns and there was drums and rhythm guitar and lead guitar, and the singer had the same raspy voice, and maybe partially too, it's like I know the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to Google it. I can sing every song. So yeah, like I know you're more heavy, like Metallica's coming again. I think I've sailed that ship after 12 times, but I don't know if I want to do them again. But like I used to, Wasp and Tool and all that stuff, and one band I've always wanted to see that is making their rounds again too is Green Day.
Mm. Oh, I hate Green
Day. I love their music, but I need a band, not 42 dancers on stage while Britney Spears lip syncs.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite shows outside of all the metal shows, like I've seen Maiden countless times and Metallica countless times and all of that. One of my favorite shows ever was the Eagles before before Glenn Fry died. Years before Glenn Fry died. I saw them twice on I forget what tour it was, but I saw them at Madison Square Garden. Then I saw them at in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun, and they were so awesome because again, it's those guys plus you got the extra keyboardist and some bongo players, and it all just came together so awesomely. And it was such a good time just to hang out and just sing along because we all knew all the Eagles tunes. You're singing along and it's just musically phenomenal. And you don't get that anymore. There are no bands out today that will ever sound like the Eagles.
Oh, no, they're phenomenal. But I mean, there's a lot of, that's what I'm telling you, like Foreigner and Styx, I'm in. REO Speedwagon. Like my wife's younger than me, and she's like, I want to see REO Speedwagon. I want to see. And the first time I got tickets, the singer got sick. The dude's up there, 70 years old. Whether they're kind of Bay City rollers or not, they did a damn good job of putting on a show. I'll tell you that.
Well, I think that's why a lot of these older artists from back in the 80s and late 70s and 80s really do well because of what we're talking about. The current music is terrible. There's no talent behind it. It's all computer driven, and people want to go see actual real professional musicians.
We don't want to listen to MIDI instruments.
I don't want to sit there and watch somebody, with a fucking iPhone, play tunes for an hour and a half. I want to watch somebody with a guitar and a bass and all of this, and that's why all of these bands do really well. Everybody wants to go see REO Speedwagon, Foreigner, whoever, Def Leppard. They draw extremely well because people want that. People crave that. The music industry just looks at dollar signs.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
And we're not buying in. All right. So before we get over to Mike Reads the News, I did have a couple of things I wanted to bring up. Number one, Christmas Drinks Special Show is only 2 weeks away. I still have not opened that package. Year-end awards, we got to work on that together.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we got to work on that together. The other thing is, ladies and gentlemen, well, two more things. I've got these fucking stickers sitting here. Okay. Obviously, you don't know Sanford and Son, so we'll have to get some new trivia. All right. Maybe you're too young for the show. Maybe we're way ahead of our time. I don't know. But what Big B referred to on the last two shows was Sanford and Son, and probably, other than I'm going to use your face to make gorilla cookies, was probably the most popular statement from the show.
Mm-hmm.
We have stickers. Email us, cavecrewradio@gmail.com. Comment on a post on Facebook. Actually, what I want you to do is I want everyone to go on X or Twitter or whatever it is. I want you to go on Facebook, in the Cave Crew Radio group, wherever you find it. I want you to do an @ symbol, and I want you to go at Mike Jolitz.
Jolitz.
Yes. We want Twitter shits.
Oh, yeah. At Mike Jolitz, we want Twitter shits.
We want Twitter shits is what we want.
That's right. That's DK's favorite segment.
Yes.
Because he gets to choose his favorite Twitter handle.
And I like the comments. It just flows so well. Anyway, speaking of Mike Jolitz, we still love him. He still has a job. We are now going to go to take not a break, but we're going to bring up Mike Jolitz. We're going to read the news, and then we'll do some talking FLA. And we've been doing a lot of babbling lately. We might not need stories in 2-4.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Just pick a couple of headlines, and
That's right.
who knows? Might be a shift, ladies and gentlemen.
We've done it before.
You never know. The one thing about this show is we started as a sports and a news show, and it lasted about 5 minutes. And one thing with us is the great thing about this show, why this show has lasted other than other shows we've done, is it's got no center. Anything goes.
That's
Could be
true.
news, could be weird news, could be a guest, could be a psychic, could be talking about food. You never know.
That's right.
That's why you last, because you're flexible. We're not avatars. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Choo Choo Stew is, but not us. And by the way, you shall note that Choo Choo Stew AI was months ahead of Kiss,
That is 100% correct.
which may lead me again to believe that there's more people watching than we think, and they're stealing our shit.
It wouldn't be the first time.
All right. Mike Jolitz in the news, ladies and gentlemen. Here up here.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello to you, DK. Hello, Big B, and hello, listeners around the world. Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, bitches. Alrighty, guys, this is Mike Jolitz, and it is now time for Mike Reads the News. Kiss supposedly played their last concert ever this week. Okay, we've heard that before, though. Krista Moleman was honored last Sunday with the most time spent in Facebook jail this year. He spent 8 months under account suspension. The next closest has 5. Adam Ant is going on tour next March. I like his music. It might be fun to go see him. Last day of the tour is happening in Phoenix, too. All right, I'll just admit it. I want to go. Stephen A. Smith at ESPN is threatening to leave the network. I'm pretty sure most people will not care. I, for one, do not. Taco Bell is bringing back the double-decker taco for a limited time to the menu. Those were good. I'm wondering when the caca con carne is going to be back, though. Subway announced that there will be 3 new footlongs added to the menu. They're naming them the DK, Big B, and the Mike. Just kidding. They're cookies, pretzels, and churros. Aaron Rodgers once told Aaron Andrews, the reporter, the secret of staying warm during cold weather when you're just sitting on the bench. He told her to pee on her leg. You think she ever did it? And finally in the news, Bad Mary is currently playing a show at Mr. Beery's in Bethpage, New York right now. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. It is now time for the tidbits. They're not headlines, they're just little tiny pieces of shit. Oh, yeah. It was 81 degrees here in Phoenix this past Tuesday. Oh, yeah. My daughter Courtney graduated high school early, a year and a half early. Oh, yeah. Norman Lear, who created All in the Family and other shows, has died. He was 101. Oh, no. The Steelers shit the bed and lost to the Patriots. Oh, wow. The Packers shocked me and the world when they beat the cheating Chiefs last Sunday. Oh, yeah. And finally, in the tidbits, Hunter Biden was indicted on 9 tax charges. 3 are felony charges. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. That does it for the tidbits. I will be back next week with more news and tidbits. Choose Chow on a feeder saying later, bye-bye.
You know, we always have to admit, Mike Jolitz, he crams a lot into a couple of minutes.
He certainly does.
And does a fantastic job. Now, before we carry on to talking FLA, there was one other thing I forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we were talking about eye syphilis. And whatever that other name is, I don't have my notes in front of me. But I was like going through some sound bits. And what do you think is worse?
Mm-hmm.
Eye syphilis or...
God's going to put a cancer in the butthole. God's going to put a cancer in the butthole of every sodomite. Every sodomite's butthole will get cancer in the butthole. It'll burn and burn and burn. They won't be able to sit down because of the burning in their butthole. He can't sit down. He's got a burning in his butthole. He's got a fire. He's got a flame coming out of his butthole. God's going to have a flame coming out of your butthole. You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Like, that would have been a fun sermon.
I totally forgot about God's going to put a cancer in the butthole.
I think I would be standing and people are like, sit down. No, you're going to get a cancer in the butthole. He's going to put a flame. There'll be fire shooting out your butthole.
I totally forgot about cancer in the butthole guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I found that the other day, and I'm thinking, I got to bring that up to Big B.
Wow.
Because that's another one you could put in your inventory. Right? I demand you get eye syphilis. You're going to get cancer of the butthole. There's going to be flames coming out your butthole.
Oh my goodness. I really should. For the most part, generally, I just make it up as I'm saying it.
You're right.
But I try to remember things from the past or things that I've read, things like that. But for the most part, I just make it up as I'm saying it.
But I saw that and I played it, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta just play a few seconds of that.
Oh, absolutely. That's a classic for this show.
Don't even remember. This is like, we need a wiki page. That's what we need. Like, if anyone out there would volunteer, like all the business ideas we've had, all the guests, all the segments, all the weird things. I don't remember half the time. And I just like, I'm looking for something else. And I'm like, oh, I remember that. And I'll click on the audio file because I tried to save everything.
Right. And if we were to have a Wikipedia page, we need to have Bill to have his own special section.
Yeah, Bill.
Bill is my favorite.
He's still alive. We
I have no idea.
I don't even like now where those audio files are. I have no idea because I have a hard drive and then I have like actually what's on my computer. And a lot of the really old stuff is I don't even know if I still have Bill, but maybe that'll be an interesting feature for the year-end show. Or
Bill
the
was
Christmas special, whatever I can find. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you've waited long enough. We sometimes put this on the back burner, and we don't mean to do it. We just run out of time, and hopefully we can shoot through these stories for you tonight. But it is time for...
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the News.
Yes, Talking FLA, ladies and gentlemen. That is a original production that was done for us. I just want to preface this by saying this involves one of the favorite things Big B loves about the news these days. It's like it's his thing. And I want to say I have a new sound effect.
Ooh.
And I'm going to play it early. So you have it for the very last story that we got to get to.
Wait, hang on. I think they're going to throw something.
It had to happen.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to start off with somebody throwing something, which isn't as good as previous throwing stories. but we're going to end tonight with a really good one.
Probably
This first
your
story
new
of the night.
favorite. Is it going to be your new favorite?
No, I don't think anything is going to beat the 7-Eleven hot dog story.
Okay. All right.
That
was good. Yeah, that was good.
First story of the night comes from one of our favorite places, The Villages in Florida. It's thevillagesnews.com. Headline reads, Villager sentenced in chair throwing disturbance at Lake Sumter Landing restaurant.
Oh.
A villager has been...
Why do we never witness this stuff in our daily lives?
Well, I'm not in Florida, and when you go to Florida, you go to tourist places. You don't go to the inner cities. A villager has been sentenced in a chair-throwing disturbance at Lake Sumter Landing restaurant. Peter John Nat, who is 54 years old, of the village of Chatham, pleaded no contest earlier this month to charges of battery and trespassing in Sumter County Court. He has been placed on probation for 1 year. Nat showed up after closing time on the night of October 9th at R.J. Gator's restaurant. He had been permanently banned from the restaurant on September 20th. He walked from the front patio area to the restaurant's front door, which was locked. Nat began throwing chairs in the patio area, and an employee of the restaurant walked outside onto the patio and asked Nat to leave. Rather than leave, Nat, who stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 225 pounds, pushed the man. The incident was captured on surveillance. And that is the end of the story, ladies and gentlemen. And it leaves a lot of questions.
So, for those of you that don't know, just in case, new people come along every now and then. If they don't tell us what happens, what do?
We make it up.
We make it up. We take you down the rabbit hole. We're not going to leave you hanging. It's like, what's his name? That Paul guy in the 80s there. And this is the rest of the story.
I don't know who that is.
I have to remember his last name now. It's just getting late. But so you're banned. You've got a vendetta. You walk up. You know when closing time is, because if you're banned, it means you've been there quite a few times.
Right.
Why didn't you arrive earlier?
Well, let's take a step back for a second, because it doesn't say why he was banned in the first place.
Right. Probably for throwing shit in the bar and causing a commotion.
Now, here's what I'm going to say happened. I'm going to say that he was in the bar. He had to use the bathroom. Went to the bathroom, did his business, but the sink was broken.
Ooh.
And in his stupor, I would say he was either drunk or high at the time. In his inebriated stupor, he needed to furiously wash his hands. So he started banging on the sink that didn't work. And eventually the whole thing broke a pipe where water started shooting out. He washed his hands with the water shooting out of the pipe, walked out of the bathroom like nothing happened, sat down at the bar, ordered another drink. Another patron saw him come out of the bathroom with the pipe burst, told the manager.
He's soaking wet. He shattered the porcelain.
Right.
He's soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
The patron told the manager. Manager went to him, asked him about it, and he said he just needed to wash his hands. And he said, "You're gone. You have to leave. You caused too much damage. Before I call the police, you have to leave, and you are no longer allowed to come here anymore." That's what I think happened.
And he left wet.
And he left soaking wet.
Yeah. Walking around in Chatham County.
And then he wanted to come back and have a drink.
It's his favorite bar.
Weeks later.
Everyone loves PJ Gators.
Everybody loves PJ Gators. He wants to go have a drink at his favorite watering hole, which was closed. And because he was already inebriated, he was on Flocka because it is Florida. He was on Flocka, went up to PJ Gators, wanted to get in and have a whiskey sour. Couldn't get in with the doors are locked. Started throwing things because, again, he gets mad when things don't go his way. He started throwing things because he wanted his whiskey sour. The employee came out and said, "No, we are closed. You need to leave." He then shoved the employee down, causing an assault. Now he's got damage of property, assault, and all he wanted was his drink. Like Mike Muir in Suicidal Tendencies, all he wanted was a Pepsi. All's Mr. Nat wanted was a whiskey sour.
That's it.
And he was arrested for it.
You can always make that at home, ladies and gentlemen.
But he would rather sit at his favorite stool at the bar at PJ Gators.
And have everyone like cheers. He'd walk in and then I'll go, Nat.
Right. That's what he was looking for.
Yeah. I can't top that, ladies and gentlemen. I have no creativity in me tonight that could top that. From throwing to hitting people with random things. Here's another story from Florida, which Big B will bring to us. And this lovely young lady lost her temper in a Wawa store, is it? Or
Wawa, yes.
Yeah.
Next story comes from clickorlando.com. Headline reads, Sanford woman accused of attacking couple with wine bottle at local Wawa.
See, they don't need firearms in Florida. We got to give them credit here. They've overcome the firearm issue in the United States. They just use random hot dogs, chicken wings, chairs, wine bottles.
Whatever is on hand. A barbecue grill. We've had that
barbecue
story.
Grill.
That's right.
A slice of pizza.
Whatever's available.
A toaster. We every week, every 2 weeks, whenever we do this shit, there's always someone assaulting someone, with a not inanimate object, but just common everyday items. I'm waiting for someone to stab someone in the eye with nail clippers.
Right. Usually it's like a baseball bat. If you're not using guns, somebody will have a baseball bat or, a broom handle or mop handle, something like that. They'll attack somebody with
steak knife,
something to that effect.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, we've had chicken wings, we've had pizza, we've had hot dogs, we've had a barbecue grill, we've had various other things, and now a wine bottle.
Is this something else? And I know we'll never get to it because we still don't have our map. But this is maybe something else we need to, an assault chart on a whiteboard or something.
I think we need to rank them.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
We need to rank them, and
maybe that'll be your special year-end.
It could be. I have to go back and look through them, but I know my favorite two, my top two, the chicken wings.
Now, then no one's going to tune in till the show.
All right, I will give my top three on the year-end show.
Okay, and I will try to remember and throw mine in.
A Sanford woman was arrested last week after an attack at a local Wawa convenience store. In an arrest report, police said they were called to the Wawa along 25th Street around 12:30 a.m. on Thursday. Upon arrival, they found a woman who claimed she and her boyfriend had been threatened by 30-year-old Angelique Glenn.
Angelique.
According to the woman, Glenn had accidentally placed her wine bottle with the couple's order. And once the couple realized that, they got a refund for the wine. However, Glenn became angry and said something to the effect of, "Why can't you just pay for my bottle of wine?" Glenn reported...
Probably because it's yours, not mine.
Right. Glenn reportedly began threatening the couple before striking them both with the wine bottle, knocking the boyfriend unconscious.
Oh, good shot.
Now, before I go on, I have a question.
Okay.
It's a wine bottle. It's glass. Generally, if you hit somebody hard enough to knock them unconscious, the bottle breaks.
That's only in Westerns. Like
No,
a
that's
wine
in real
bottle's
life.
it's pretty well. So if you're just using like the edge of the wine bottle, and I don't think it's going to break.
I mean, you're hitting two people. You've hit one person hard enough to knock them unconscious, and then you're hitting another person. That wine bottle's got to break at some point. She then continued to make threats, saying she was going to kill them as she walked out to the parking lot.
You already knocked the guy unconscious. He might be dead.
Glenn was later taken into custody where she faces 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. For those charges, she is held on bond of $30,000.
Ooh, that's a steep one. I have a question. Looking at her picture here, anybody else think that's a drag queen, or?
It's very possibly could be.
That looks like a linebacker from the Florida State Seminoles or something.
So I don't know if you know what a Wawa is, but it's like it's basically like a 7-Eleven type store.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
Maybe the Wawas I've been to have been about the same size. Some of them have gas stations attached to them, depending on where you are. I've never once been to a Wawa or 7-Eleven for that matter where they've sold wine.
Well, I thought you guys sold liquor everywhere.
No, you sell liquor in liquor stores. That's where you buy your liquor.
Now, see, I've been in Nashville. I bought beer at the 7-Eleven.
Well, you can buy beer at 7-Eleven for sure.
But like usually you go over to like Myers. I don't know if you ever heard of Myers.
I know what Myers is. We don't have them, but I know what it is. Yeah.
You go to Myers in Michigan, you can buy wine, you can buy booze, you can buy.
Well, here, in at least in New York, I don't know other states. There's a law where you can't sell beer and liquor in the same store.
Oh,
so you can buy beer at 7-Eleven. We have beer distributors that we can go. You can buy beer at the supermarket, but you can only buy liquor in liquor stores.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So I don't know if that's like in other states, but in New York, that's the way it is. So that's why when I go to, I had taken Stu to what I call the greatest liquor store ever. Which
yes, we've heard of that. Yeah.
Right. Is out in Long Island, a monstrous liquor store. They also have a beer store, but it's separated. It's separated by a glass wall, and you have to literally go out of the liquor store and go into the beer store. It's all the same store, but it is completely separated because you cannot sell beer and liquor in the same physical store.
I wonder what the motivation is behind that.
I don't know. It's like the stupid, it's got to go back to like the blue laws. You don't know what the blue laws are. That's you can't, a lot of places you can't buy any alcohol on Sundays. Here in New York, you can't buy any alcohol on Sundays before noon.
Yeah, we're the same here. Yeah. They open at noon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it has something to do with that. I don't really understand the logic or follow the logic by it, but that's just the way it is. And it's been like that for probably, like 100 years or whatever it is.
Closing statement. If she mistakenly, or whatever that thing is, son of Kong, put her wine bottle into my cart, I would just, here you go. It's on me. I don't think I want to mess with that fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know originally. They paid for it apparently, and then realized, oh shit, this ain't mine.
It was the worst day of their fucking life. Over a what, $8 bottle of wine?
Right. Yeah, it's from Wawa. It's not like a high quality bottle of wine.
So anyway, off to the next one. I haven't personally had any pest problems where I've had to call in a pest control, touch wood. But they're out there. They're there to help with your ants or your rodents or whatever, bed bugs, whatever it may be. And here is a story. About a gentleman from a pest control company.
The next story comes from WFLA.com, which is News Channel 8 on your side. Headline reads, Polk County pest control worker exposed himself to customers, said his zipper broke.
He had a malfunction.
Hold, I'm writing things down.
Poor guy. I mean, it could happen to any of us. Not all of us carry around safety pins.
Maybe you should.
I have not zipper broked in my memory that I'm aware of.
I have not zippered. I have not broken zippered.
Yeah. I have not been able to zip. Or I have been able to zip, I should say.
Yes. A Polk County lawn care and pest control worker was arrested twice for allegedly exposing himself to customers while inside their homes. The Polk County Sheriff's Office said it first arrested Tyler Mountain. Can I just say what an awesome name that is, first of all?
That is like, you should not be killing bugs. You should be facing like Roman Reigns and John Cena, or you should be a defensive end for the Jacksonville Jaguars or something.
Or
Tyler Mountain.
Or a porn star. The biggest male porn star.
Making those little bitches of yours have fire coming out of their butthole.
That's right. Put a cancer in that butthole because you're Tyler Mountain.
He does kind of look like a gay porn star now that you mention it.
God.
Tyler Mountain in cancer of the butthole.
They first arrested Tyler Mountain, who's 27 years old, of Lake Wales on my birthday, no less, November 22nd.
There you go. Happy birthday.
After
maybe Tyler Mountain will jump out of the cake next year.
I hope not.
Flanging his ding-ding through a broken zipper.
Well, apparently I'm not his type because a 76-year-old Davenport woman reported him for exposing himself.
So he doesn't like hot moms. He likes hot grannies.
Grannies, right.
I love hot grannies, and I cannot lie.
God. Investigators said the incident happened on October 26th when Mountain, an employee of Massey Services, was supposed to be giving the woman an estimate for pest control work. According to the sheriff's office, the victim said Mountain left her bathroom with his genitals exposed, saying that his zipper was broken and that he needed her help.
My genitals are so swollen. My pants can't contain them without the zipper.
You know, like you're tucking somebody into bed. Can you tuck my balls into my pants, please?
Right.
Just ever so slightly. Brush them.
You've heard of the blue pill? I drank pineapple juice.
Brush them ever so slightly into the pants, please.
I'm sorry. I'm Dumbo the elephant. Can you help me? My zipper's broken.
I have elephantitis of the nuts. During the investigation, a detective learned that Massey Services fired Mountain after getting the woman's complaint. However, the sheriff's office said the company confirmed that was the second time Mountain was accused of exposing himself to a customer, the previous time being in Haines City. The man used his work position to gain access to the homes of these women and then sexually exposed himself. This behavior is disgusting and predatory.
What kind of pleasure do you have in just like wagging your dick and your balls out in front of a senior citizen? Like, go big or go home, Tyler.
This is the he must think like Cocoon is a porn movie. Because the victim in the Haines City incident was not in the county at the time, deputies arrested Mountain on the charge of lewd exposition to an elderly person for the October 26th incident. They later arrested him again on November 25th after the Haines City victim returned. Sheriff's office said that the victim told a detective that Mountain was supposed to be working on her lawn when he exposed himself and said his zipper was broken. He was charged with lewd exposition in this case as well. We believe it's possible that more victims of this man could be out there. And if that's the case, we want them to come forward. If you have any information on the suspect, please call the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
Please, anyone listening out there in Florida, if you have had lawn care or pest removal or, for that matter, anything else, if anyone's zipper has randomly broken while on a service call or a sales estimate at your house, please call the Polk County Sheriff Department.
Come on, Big Balls Mountain is on the loose.
Good old Tyler Mountain.
Good old fucking Big Balls Elephantitis Nuts Mountain.
Oh, Lord. I love it. I love it. All right, next up is I do have a video. I don't know if we need to play it or not, but anyway, this is a DUI suspect. This guy is a genuine hoot, as far as I'm concerned. But let me preface this story by saying, Big B, I do talk to my dogs. So I may be the modern Cave Crew Radio Dr. Doolittle.
Oh, look at you. So. Well, this next story comes from clickorlando.com. Headline reads, video shows Florida DUI suspect threatening deputies and the canine during a traffic stop. A man was arrested in the Florida Keys after a traffic stop for a suspected DUI that ended in a profanity-laced tirade that included threatening deputies. Body camera from the video from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office shows. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Walter Frank Camp threatened to rape and kill sheriff's deputies and their family members hundreds of times as he was being arrested for driving under the influence.
This is way worse than letting your balls fall out of your jeans.
Camp even threatened to rape and murder a police dog.
Oh, now we're getting, I don't know, is bestiality legal in Florida? There's been a lot of it.
I would assume no.
Okay.
On several occasions in the video, he could be heard howling at the police canine named Mako.
Mako.
I'm a sniper. I could kill you from 1,500 yards away, Camp said. Camp of Lynn Haven is facing a slew of charges, including DUI, grand theft of a motor vehicle, multiple counts of threatening a law enforcement officer / officer's family, harassing a law enforcement canine, possession of marijuana, indecent exposure, and resisting arrest. That's a long list of charges.
That's a lot for a sniper.
Deputies said they observed Camp driving southbound in a Kia SUV, speeding and passing illegally just after 5:30 p.m. on US 1 near mile marker 32 on Big Pine Key.
I love how they mile marker 32.
I got to be specific on
We
exactly
could
where it
geocode
is.
this shit. If we actually got serious, we could geocode this shit so easily.
That's right. And it would literally be the tour of Florida stories throughout the area.
I say we get like a school bus or something. We paint it and we start tours of Florida. And you know what? I've been on all these fucking boring tours with my wife, like in Nashville, Niagara Falls, and Halifax, and a little bit of interesting history, but I'd rather take a nap or go to the bar and have a drink and talk to a local. But this would be something that I think people would really like. And we'd have like little televisions that would drop and show photos and pictures and movies. And
I think what would be really cool if we were able to do this on the TV screen as we get to a certain spot, we cut to us reading the story.
Right. Good idea. There you go. Yeah.
This is what happened at this point.
Yeah.
I think that, but we need help from people out there.
Right. We need donations. Maybe, hey, I want a sticker. Here's $10.
There you go. Anything would be helpful.
Anything would help us.
Following a traffic stop, deputies said they located an open Bud Light can and an odor of marijuana was emanating from the vehicle where Camp appeared to be intoxicated.
The
In the
stench
video,
of cannabis is unmistakable, ladies and gentlemen. It is. It doesn't smell like an air freshener.
No, not at all. If you have the video, I would love to see this. It says in the video, he is seen pulling up his shirt and pulling down his pants.
Oh, I don't know if it shows that, but hang on a minute. Let me find the video.
While you find the video, according to detectives, the Kia was reported stolen out of Blaine, Washington.
Okay, so we're gonna have to. Oh, geez, that's a long drive. I think we're gonna have to mute.
Got it? I'll mute.
Okay, I'm gonna mute as well.
You. We're back now with body camera video you will see only on Local 10. A wild arrest in the Florida Keys as deputies pulled over a driver in a stolen car. A man was heard making threats to kill law enforcement.
And that's not all. Local 10's Janine Stanwood has the exclusive video.
I'm a sniper. Okay. I can kill you 1,500 yards away.
I'll be out tomorrow morning. Okay. And that guy will be dead in 6 months. I'm gonna kill his dog too.
Threats to kill a deputy and his dog in a bizarre traffic stop in the Florida Keys.
According to the sheriff's office, it all started when deputies spot a car speeding on the overseas highway. That driver's eventually pulled over here in Big Pine Key near mile marker 32.
The driver is identified as 67-year-old Walter Frank Camp. Soon after stepping out of the car, he lifts up his shirt and pulls down his pants.
Other than that giant bag of marijuana, is there anything illegal? There is nothing illegal in that car.
According to the report, however, Camp had more than 50 grams of edibles in the car. Things soon get tense.
You.
Then, in a strange twist, as a deputy is field testing the suspected drugs, Camp howls back at Canine Mako inside before threatening bestiality and worse.
I'll the later. Okay. And his dog.
Okay.
And his women and his kids. You got any kids? What? You got any kids? I don't really think that's your business. I'm gonna them in the
After more foul-mouthed remarks, deputies run the license plate and say the car comes back to a rental company more than 3,000 miles away in Blaine, Washington.
I have a car stopped, and I guess it is your car.
It's in Florida?
Yeah, it's a silver. Hold on, I have the.
I know what it is, a Kia.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know what? I was just getting ready to call Whatcom County Sheriff and report it stolen.
You don't know who you're with. Okay, well. You have no idea.
Camp is placed in a squad car and keeps on talking.
My godfather is a mafia-made man, and that the guy that just arrested me is dead in 6 months. And his kids, and that dog that barked. I'm gonna make sure they kill that dog.
Deputies say Mako the canine, who's trained to sniff narcotics and is good with kids, suffered stress from the incident and could have been injured inside his kennel. Camp now facing a litany of charges.
Male, DUI?
Not DUI, but okay.
Including driving under the influence, grand theft auto, and threatening law enforcement. In Big Pine Key, Janine Stanwood, Local 10 News.
So I have a question. I think you're still on mute. I can't hear you.
Sure.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So at the end of the story, it said that the dog suffered, what did they say?
Trauma.
Trauma.
In its kennel.
How did the dog suffer trauma? The dog can't understand that the guy's
standing outside the vehicle going, "Oh!"
But that's not trauma. I mean, look, I'm all for law enforcement, and the canine dogs do a great job. Let's not exaggerate what happened there. He's a drunk guy making verbal threats. At no point he howled at the dog. That's not going to cause a dog trauma. At no point did he physically assault anybody or try to assault the dog. The dog was in the car. How did the dog be caused trauma?
I don't have an answer. I do want to put forward we should find more videos.
Yes.
These are very entertaining. I mean, because we get a picture. You do a great job of reading the story. We do a great job of reading between the lines. But like to actually see in like video form, you can see the kind of fucking nutcases they have in Florida. I don't know. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another great Florida story. Big B seems to have lost his mind. But anyway.
No, I was trying to find the next story. I couldn't, because I tried to look in the links to what I wrote, because I couldn't find it. I found it.
Anyway, this guy was just trying to work out. But perhaps he had a problem with his fly as well.
No, that's not the story.
Oh, it isn't?
No, the one before that.
Okay.
The woman that pulls down the pants on the flight.
Oh, okay. Hang on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, occasionally I do faux pas as well.
Yeah, that's the next. Jim Fred is the next story.
This is a young lady who was on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
She had to go.
This next story again comes from clickorlando.com. Headline reads, quote, "I gotta go pee.
I gotta pee."
Woman pulls pants down in aisle during Florida flight. A woman riding on a Frontier Airlines flight flashed her fellow passengers on Monday after pulling her pants down mid-flight, according to a video shared with News 6. The woman, who has not been publicly identified, was reportedly one of several passengers headed to Philadelphia from Florida. Footage shared with News 6 by passenger Julie Hartman shows the woman saying, "Sorry, everybody," before pulling down her pants and squatting in the aisle.
At least she apologized.
The woman indicated that she intended to relieve herself in the aisle after reportedly being told she couldn't use the bathroom by a flight attendant. Other passengers on the flight can be heard shouting at her, with one saying that there were children on the plane. However, she was seen pulling her pants back up before yelling, "I don't give a shit. No, fuck you. I gotta go pee."
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Gotta go.
Good for you, girl.
She eventually walked away and confronted a flight attendant. Meanwhile, another passenger on the flight can be heard saying, "That poor little boy," likely referring to the young boy in the seat next to where the woman dropped her pants.
Oh, he got a soaker.
In another video, the woman was seen confronting several of the other passengers aboard the flight while screaming and cursing. Quote, "Matthew Hartman and I had the most awful experience flying home from Florida this afternoon," Julie wrote on Facebook. A passenger was upset that she was required to sit in her assigned seat and decided to pull her pants down on the plane right in front of two children. "I literally had a front row seat to the spectacle. She threatened to kill another passenger. She threatened me after I told her to sit down. I hope she was arrested and banned from flying ever again."
On the no-fly list.
On the no-fly list. I don't know if she peed she didn't pee in the aisle. She just squatted and then pulled her pants back up.
You can't squat in your seat. You thinking she just peed on her seat?
No, I don't think she peed at all.
Oh, really? You're calling this a conspiracy theory?
No, she's saying that she had to go pee. I don't think
she pulled her pants down,
but she didn't pee.
Squatted.
Right, but if you watch the video, I don't know if you saw the video. I watched the
No, I
video while I
didn't.
was.
I'm going to start bringing more videos on, folks.
So in this video, it was auto playing while I was reading the story originally. So I could hear what was going on, and I caught a glimpse of it. So what she did, she pulled her pants down, squatted, and then immediately pulled her pants back up. So she
Oh.
didn't actually pee.
She thought better of herself.
I get, because once she did that, the entire plane, gave out a gasp and started yelling at her. So then she immediately pulled her pants back up, and then she started cursing at everybody. So I don't think she ever peed.
And flights are so long, they're so boring. This would have been great. I would have cracked open some peanuts, and this would have been beautiful. So you're saying she has not urinated?
No, I don't think she has urinated.
Okay. I'm going to make a executive decision here. And I know you want to do the second last story. And I know you want to do the last story.
For sure.
You want to do the sex toy one.
Yes.
So let's immediately go into that one.
Okay.
Where, again, drugs and everything's involved. But we also have a sex toy, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. This next story comes from, oh shit, I didn't realize what time it was. This next story comes from the NewYorkPost.com. Headline reads, Florida woman caught with meth and Valium begs cops not to take her sex toy during a drug bust.
You can take the drugs in my pocket, but not my sex toy.
A Florida woman pleaded with SWAT team officers not to confiscate her sex toy.
SWAT team? Holy shit.
While they were searching her backpack for drugs last week. Quote, "Don't take my dildo," she asked of officers from the Martin County Sheriff's Office. While conducting a search warrant around 5:45 a.m. on November 21st, police searched 27-year-old Ariella Messina's backpack. Inside, they found loose yellow pills in a bag, stashed inside a pack of Newport cigarettes, crystal-like substances, and a blue vibrator.
Can I ask a question? I know we're running out of time, but why do you need a SWAT team?
Probably because they were issuing a warrant. Usually when you issue a warrant, there's a lot of officers because they never know what's going to happen.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why. Officers wrote in the police report that she admitted that the backpack was hers and she was aware of the contents inside. The pills were later identified as Tiva 3926 diazepam pills, better known by the brand name Valium.
I understand Valium. I don't know the code name.
The crystal substance tested positive for meth. What the fuck happened? Okay. The crystal substance tested positive for meth. Messina, who was on probation for a previous cocaine conviction, was one of 5 individuals arrested at the Jensen Beach residence after police seized cocaine, meth, drug paraphernalia, and brass knuckles.
Oh, see, this makes sense now. There's a lot of people, so you want to bring the SWAT team. I thought this chick was just like walking along the beach and the fucking SWAT team comes after her. Right?
No, apparently in this, there were 5 people arrested. The drugs were inside a locked safe in Messina's residence, according to court documents. She was booked into the Martin County Jail with 2 felony charges of possession of a controlled substance without a script. She's being held in lieu of $10,000 bond.
So you get out of jail. You see it on TV and you watch a lot of these shows. And when the person gets out of the jail, it's like, okay, you got $10 cash, you got a wallet, you got a key, you got whatever, a handkerchief.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to her, okay, you've got your purse, you've got your wallet, and you also have your blue dildo.
That's right.
Just curious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know Big B's been excited for this, and on his cue, I will have a sound effect ready for our final story of the night.
Final story of the night comes from Fox 35 Orlando. Headline reads, Florida man does what?
Wait, hang on. I think they're going to throw something.
Florida man hurls Oreos at wife
Yes.
during argument over empty coffee maker. Ladies and gentlemen, we started with a throwing story that I said was okay. He just threw some furniture. And we were going to end with a really good one. A Florida man has found himself behind bars after he allegedly hurled a package of Oreo cookies at his wife during an argument about the coffee maker not having any water in it.
That would freak me out too, because the first thing in the morning, I want the smell of Maxwell House or Folgers or whatever the flavor of the day is. You don't have your coffee, it really throws your morning off.
Bitch, you better get in that kitchen and put water in that shit.
Grabs a pack of Oreos.
John Sandoval, who is...
Sign that boy up, left-handed pitcher.
John Sandoval, who is 70 years old, was arrested and charged with felony domestic battery on a person 65 years or older after the incident that unfolded on Saturday morning, according to an affidavit from the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Sandoval's wife, who has been married to and cohabitating with for over 40 years, was sitting at a table when she and her husband got into a verbal argument about the coffee maker not having any water in it.
After cohabitating for so long, it's a pack of Oreos. It's not like he's throwing fucking those Japanese stars at you or something like.
Well, listen, Sandoval became aggressive and chucked a package of Oreo cookies that hit her in the chest, causing her to fall.
Oh, so she had bad balance.
It was fucking Oreo.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
While she was on the ground, Sandoval allegedly put his hands on her throat, but did not restrict her airway. So he didn't choke her. He just put his hands on her throat.
He was just...
The incident...
He was doing charades.
Right.
Yeah.
The incident wasn't reported until the next day after the woman's daughter urged her mother to press charges. Deputies did not observe any obvious injuries. She was hit with fucking Oreos. Of course she doesn't have any injuries.
Imagine you unlock a level on a video game and it's Oreos.
Oh my God.
I hope I get the bazooka. No, you get a package of Oreos. Good luck with those zombies.
It's the next level in Call of Duty. Fuck snipers. You're gonna fucking throw Oreos at fucking the fucking Germans.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Deputies caught up with Sandoval, who admitted to picking up a package of cookies and throwing them at her. He said he believed it hit her in the head, but he wasn't sure. He said he had no recollection of grabbing her throat. Sandoval was arrested and transported to the Lake County Jail. Criminal check revealed a prior conviction for misdemeanor simple battery in 2005.
Oh.
It was fucking Oreos.
Cookies.
Half of it is cream filling.
Yeah, what a waste of a good package of Oreos.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not a sweet person, but I do like double stuffed Oreos.
And, it's Oreo. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's a fucking cookie, for God's sake.
This has to make your top list for end of year.
Well, I will give you my top 3, and I'm not sure this will make it, but it could be close. We'll see.
Could be close. She'd go 5.
Huh?
Should go top 5.
Well, I have to go back then to figure out because I have my top 3 in mind already.
I can list you 10 off the top of my head.
I could go 4. I got to see about 5.
Oh, now we're playing Name That Tune.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, all right, we did pretty good. We went a little bit over, but now it is time to name the show. I don't have a terribly large amount of things. I was worried. I always worry at the beginning when we're just nattering and I don't really come up with anything. But one thing I came up with at the beginning that I still find very strange: Puerto Rican eggnog.
There you go.
One of my favorite stories, and it goes back a ways. He wanted a whiskey sour. Then I go on to Cocoon is a porn movie.
Ooh.
I also wrote down his zipper was broken. Just kind of, some of these things just kind of catch me every now and then. And then I also had, just because completely irrelevant, but things catch me as you're telling the stories. And I wrote down mile marker 32.
That could be good.
But I still think, and I don't know if you're going to be on my side, you kind of jumped the gun last week. Don't take my dildo. You've got to have 4 tonight.
I have 3.
Oh, geez.
We did a lot of talking.
Backwards.
We did a lot of talking back and forth, and so first, I have, like you have, I have his zipper broke.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. Next, we were talking about Tyler Mountain.
Yeah.
And I had Big Balls Mountain.
Come on.
But my submission, just like you, and I did say it last week, I wanted it last week and I want it this week. Don't take my dildo.
Yes, it was a classic. It just happened. It had to happen at the right moment.
That's right.
Because last week, you and me, we have like behind the scenes info. Don't take my dildo, ladies and gentlemen, is that's another one I would have paid money for. You can have my meth. You can have my value. You take my car. Just don't take my dildo.
Don't take my blue dildo.
Blue dildo, exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you know me well enough, I am bursting at the seams, and I may just squat in the aisle during the exit, but I really will pee because I'm not bluffing and I'm not threatening to kill anyone. Great show. 2 away from the festive drink special right before Christmas, and 3 weeks away from the year-end awards, which we'll get together with on very soon and make sure we have things planned. And the surveys will be on Facebook and Twitter, and you'll be able to cast your vote for all the favorite things that have happened on season 10 before we navigate our way through to another year of this stuff. All right, kids. What's that?
I said back for more in 24.
Back for more in 24. I don't know if I have that still. Yeah, I don't have it. But anyway, we'll see you next week, kids.
Later.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
Get out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
For every one new regulation, 2 old regulations must be eliminated.